Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd, fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa ma kana al-mu'minuna liyanfiru kaffa falawla nafara min kulli firqatin minhum ta'ifatun liyatafakkahu fid din wa liyunziru qawmahum idza raja'u ilayhim la'allahum yahzarun. Sadaqallahu al-azim. My respected brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that all the Muslims should not go out to defend the Islamic land and to perform the jihad. Some of the Muslims should stay back so that they can comprehend the religion, understand the religion, and teach those who have gone for jihad when they come back. That's where he told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَمَا كَانَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ لِيَنْفِرُوا كَافَّةً. It is not appropriate, it's not good for all the believers to leave out for jihad. A group of them must stay in the city of Medina and reflect upon the ayat which were revealed and the ahkamat and the rules which are driven from those ayat, so that they comprehend it, and with their comprehension can make the others understand those ayat in a better fashion. So tafakkur fi deen is one of the objectives of the Quran, one of the objectives of Islamic Sharia. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to do something good for a person, He gives him or her the opportunity to understand the religion. So fiqh fi deen is the asas of our religion. Very often we focus upon the meanings of the Quran, trying to understand the translation of the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or read the books of Sirah. But with all honesty, I can tell you that you may not be able to understand the Quran by itself. You may not be able to understand the proper context of the hadith by itself, because the Quran is the book of Islamic constitution. There were so many rules and regulations which were amended with the passage of time and with the growth of Muslim community. So those amendments, if they are not understood properly, they can cause a lot of confusion. And nowadays, what is happening? Many of us, we go to the Quran itself. We can go straight to the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But because we do not know which one is nasikh and which one is mansukh, which ayah was abrogated and which ayah was the abrogator, or which one is khas, specific ayah, and which one is aam, generic, which one is mutlaq, which one is muqayyad, restricted, which one is tashri'i, and which one is fi'li. Tashri'i is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this is halal and this is haram. But that hukum does not say you must eat the halal, that halal which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends an ayah which is fi'li, requiring you to do some action, salah or zakat, if you don't do it, you will be punished. So sometimes we mix up between nasikh and mansukh, and I will give you one example. La ikraha fi deen. There is no compulsion in the matter of religion. This is a generic, mutlaq, aam ayah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقْتُلُوهُمْ حَيْثُ ثَقِفْتُمُوهُمْ وَأَخْرِجُوهُمْ مِنْ حَيْثُ أَخْرَجُوكُمْ, kill them wherever you find them, slay them wherever you find them, or expel them from where they have expelled you. This is a very specific ayah. That is not talking about all the non-Muslims, all the non-believers, all the polytheists. It is directed specifically to the people of Makkah, the combatant, the mushrikeen. So what happens? Many of us, we say, no, this ayah has abrogated the ayah of La ikraha fi deen. So that's where these screwed-minded people over there back home,
They are saying killing every non-Muslim is required by the Muslim because they do not know that the ayah of La Ikraha fi Din was never abrogated. That is the Aam ayah, while the others ayat were Mukhtassa, Mukhassasa, Muqayyada, and they were meant for specific individuals, specific situations. These things are done by our fuqaha. So the Quran is the constitution, the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the amendment, as well as the explanation of that constitution, and the fiqh is the codification and the implementation of that sharia. So with our honesty, you and me, with our limited knowledge, will not be able to understand the content of the Quran properly or understand the constitution of Islam properly, but through the lenses of Islamic fiqh. We have got at least 8 schools of fiqh, 4 among the Sunnis, 2 among the Shia, and 2 of them are otherwise. Among the Sunnis, mashallah, we have got the Hanafi school of thought, the Maliki school of thought, the Shafi'i school of thought, the Hanbali school of thought. Among the Shia, we have got Ja'fari school of thought and Zaydi school of thought. Then we have got the Zahiri school, the people who follow Abu Dawud al-Zahiri or Ibn Hazm al-Zahiri. These are the literalists. They will apply the ayat of the Quran and the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu literally without looking into any kind of allegorical or any other interpretation. Then we have got one school which is Al-Ibadi, the Khariji school of thought in Oman, Muscat, Oman. That is the dominant fiqh school over there. Now with the Ahl Sunnah, we follow these 4 schools of thought. We offered a course some months ago and we talked about Imam Abu Hanifa. And inshallah we'll be starting another course this coming Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Wednesday for coming Wednesdays inshallah. And we will be talking about Imam Malik, his life, his achievements, and his fiqh methodology. As you know, Imam Malik's mazhab, Maliki mazhab, is the second largest mazhab among Ahl Sunnah. Starting from Egypt, northern Egypt, to Sudan, to Libya, to Aljazair, Tunis, Maghreb. And when Andalus or Spain was a part of Muslim empire, also the mazhab of Andalus or Spain was also Maliki mazhab. That's where you will hear that stalwarts like Ibn al-Arabi, the one who wrote the tafsir as well as ahkam of Quran. Basically his madhab was Maliki. Ibn Abdul Bir, the hadith authority, was Maliki. And you will be astonished that many of our new Muslims here in America or in England, majority of them, they follow the Maliki mazhab because they follow the East Europeans like the Balkans and the others, and especially the Spanish tradition. So Hamza Yusuf, Omar Farooq Abdullah, Abdul Hakim Jackson, all of these, they are very good scholars, mashallah, but they are the expert in Maliki school of thought. So among our youth here in America, because of the influence of these scholars, majority of our youth are following the Maliki school, not even knowing that what they are doing is basically the fiqh of Imam Malik. So just to promote that course and to encourage all of you so that you can come with your children, family and everybody and join us inshallah Wednesdays from 6:30 to 8. I'll talk briefly about Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh and some of his ideas. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh was born in Medina. His grandfather Abu Amir was a Sahabi. And his grandfather, Malik, because Malik bin Anas bin Malik bin Abu Amr, he was a great tabi'i. And Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh is born when the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam are being narrated, And some of the Sahaba have compiled a little bit of ahadith in what they used to call sahifa or suhuf, small booklets. But none of them have compiled it in the shape of the chapters of fiqh or in the shape of one volume. Imam Malik has memorized the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from some of the leading tabi'een from his childhood. So in the hadith, in the field of hadith, Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi is thought to be the most authoritative imam or person when it comes to hadith. And when we have, mashallah, 6 books of our, hadith, Imam al-Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Tirmidhi, you name it. Now the most authentic silsila or chain of narration taken by Imam al-Bukhari or Imam Muslim or Imam al-Tirmidhi and rest of them is called silsila dhahabiyya, the golden chain. Now that golden chain goes through Imam Malik. So if a narration comes that Imam Malik narrated from Nafi'. Nafi' was the freed slave of Ibn Umar. Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala, who is the son of Umar bin Khattab radiallahu ta'ala. And then Ibn Umar narrates from his father, and his father narrates from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is thought the most authentic chain. And the second most authentic chain in the books of hadith is Imam Malik through Nafi, Mawla Ibn Umar, and from Ibn Umar to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So when Imam Malik put his book Muwatta of Imam Malik, Muwatta in Arabic language means the beaten path. So he has brought in that book the most authentic ahadith which were relevant in the city of Medina. That everybody in the city of Medina knew it, and it was widespread. That's what he called Muwatta of Imam Malik. So therefore, he is not an authority in the fiqh, but he is also an authority in the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the first compiler of the book of hadith in his time. Bukhari and Muslim, they came centuries after him. Imam Malik was born in 92, and by the age he was 13, he has his halakah in Masjid al-Nabawi. And imagine that until the 70 scholars in Medina would approve of a person to have a halakah in Masjid al-Nabawi, nobody was allowed to say one hadith in Masjid al-Nabawi. So imagine at such a young age, 70 scholars of Medina gave him ijazah that this person has memorized this much hadith and he can narrate on behalf of these ruwah because he learned from Nafi and number of Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri and even Imam Jafar al-Sadiq directly from them and memorized them. Let me tell you something about the love of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi when it comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And when it comes to the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu and how much other he used to show, so that you can imagine that a person who loves Rasulullah sallallahu so much, who respects him so much, will never ever intentionally include a word which he knows is not from Rasulullah sallallahu. And how much particular and careful he was when it came to the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Imam Malik rahmatullah, since his conscious age, when he becomes the adult, he has never uttered the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam without being in the state of wudu. Imam Malik, that was his lifestyle. That he will not utter the name of Rasulullah sallallahu until he is in the state of what? Wudu. Why? Because he says that he is the most pure human being on the face of this earth, tahir. And you are not supposed to utter his name until you are tahir. That's where he used to be in the state of wudu as long as he is not asleep. Imagine, whenever he will break his wudu, he will run and make wudu so that he is in a constant state of wudu. And nobody knew this one. The only time they knew is when he got sick. And he became sick for 22 days before his death. And he started coming to Masjid al-Nabawi. People started having so many theories. Why is he not coming for Jama'ah? Maybe he is differing with the Imam. Or maybe he does not consider him capable of leading the prayer. So many things. But on his last day, when they asked him, and this is the statement, basically, he said, Lawla anni fi akhir yawm ma akhbartukum. If it was not my last days, I would have not informed you of this one and why I was not coming to the masjid. That maradi salsabil bawl. I've got urine problem. وكره أن آتي مسجد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بغير وضوء. And it was not appropriate for me. I felt that my heart does not allow me to come to the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I may not have the state of wudu. And I did not want to mention anybody that I am sick, because it may look as if I am complaining to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's qada. He made me sick, I was happy with it. But I did not want to come to the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam without the state of wudu, and I did not have control upon my situation. Imagine. When he first time read that the Prophet ﷺ said, the person who comes and lives in Medina, in my city, Medina, he is my neighbor, he is my job. And the person who dies in the city of Medina, wajabat alayhi shafa'at. That person will definitely get my shafa'ah on the day of judgment. Imam Malik never left Masjid al-Nabawi and the neighborhood of Masjid al-Nabawi for his entire life except to perform Hajj. Imam Malik has never traveled. The Caliph invited him, the governors invited him. So many people invited him to come and speak in their own masajid or give lectures. He will never leave the city of Medina. Went only for Hajj and performed the Hajj within 5 days, the basics of Hajj, and did not give the lecture even in Ka'batullah, and ran back to Medina. So people were just worried why Imam Malik does not go even to Makkah and stays always in Masjid al-Nabawi, because he used to have the lecture place where Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala used to have his caliphate, you can call, the chair. And Sayyidina Umar used to sit over there where Rasulullah used to sit between Rawda and the Mimbar. So Imam Malik used to have his hadith lecture at that place between the Rawda and the pulpit. When somebody asked him, why are you not staying and doing i'tikaf even in Makkah? He said, I am the neighbor of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there is a promise of Rasulullah sallam that the shafa'ah of Rasulullah sallam will be mandatory for his neighbor who believes in him. And those persons or those people who die in the vicinity of Rasulullah sallam or in Masjid al-Nabawi, wajabat alayhim shafa'at al-Nabi sallam, it becomes mandatory that Prophet ﷺ will fulfill his promise and give the shafa'ah for them. So I want to die in Masjid al-Nabawi in the neighborhood of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't want to miss out on that shafa'ah. Subhanallah. Allah, my brothers and sisters, do you know that Imam Malik rahmatullah spent his entire life in the city of Medina, but will never put on even the shoes, even the slippers, when he is in the limits of Medina. As soon as he will go out of the city of Medina, for Hajj, he will put on shoes. So people asked him, you come at Fajr for Salat al-Fajr and it's dark. You come for Salat al-Isha, it's dark. Maybe some snakes or some kind of scorpions will feed you, will bite you. Why don't you put on the shoes? He says, how can I walk with my shoes upon the dust on which Rasulullah walked? My shoes come on the spot where Rasulullah's foot was there, it is qillat al-adab. So Malik will not walk in the city of Medina with having the shoes which might have got a little bit of najas. Subhanallah, one time, Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi, he is visiting Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, and they were invited, both of them were doing salah in Masjid al-Nabawi, and the governor, he invited both of them for dinner at his palace. So they went. When they went walking. It was a little bit on the outskirts of the city of Medina. So they went walking. So when they are coming out, the governor gave his own horse, which is his own ride, specially known ride for the governor. Very, very special horse. He gave him, Imam Malik, the gift. He says, the governor is using this kind of ride and horse, and Imam Malik, the Imam of Medina, does not have a horse. This is my gift to you. Imam Malik took the horse, and as soon as he took it, in front of the governor, he gave it to Imam Shafi. He said, this is my gift to you. The governor did not like it at all, as if Imam Shafi, Imam Malik is giving the message that he does not think the governor as a righteous person and whose hadiyah is not acceptable. So he did not like it. He expressed, he said, I have so much respect for you and love for you, and here you did not accept my hadiyah. He said, I accepted your hadiyah. This is the sunnah of Rasulullah. Nobody can deny the hadiyah. You offered me hadiyah, I respectfully accepted it, and wallahi I respect you. Now when he came out, Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi said, what to do with this horse? And he said, you heard the feeling of a person, and he is a righteous person. And now at least one time ride it so that the governor becomes happy, and after that we will give it to somebody who's poor. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi became a little bit emotional. He said, كيف أتوا ترابا في رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Shafi, how do you expect me to ride a horse on the dust under which Rasulullah sallallahu is buried? Do you think that this is, other for Rasulullah sallallahu? I will be walking on a horse under which Rasulullah sallallahu is buried. Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, I remember this incident, and I mentioned it one time when we were in Hajj. We had, mashallah, a 5-star hotel in front of Masjid al-Nabawi, and we were looking at Masjid al-Nabawi. And when we had dinner, subhanallah, every type of food you can imagine was there. We enjoyed that dinner so much that most of our plates were, mashallah, filled with food. We couldn't, finish it, and we threw it. And here, alhamdulillah, after that, all of alhamdulillah, we are supposed to go to Masjid al-Nabawi. And some of us started arguing, oh no, the hotel is not appropriate. It's not the 5-star hotel we were promised. The buses are not like that. Basically, in this room there are 4, 5, 6 people, and some of us very emotional. As you know, mashallah. All of us, we get upset, we are tired, and we are agitated. And wallahi, I remember, I said, subhanallah, 5-star hotels, all of these comfortable beds, mashallah, every type of food, and here we are worried in the city of Medina about everything, while Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi would not even ride a horse, saying that this dust has got the sanctity because under it is the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كيف أتوا ترابا فيه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Those type of people, when we talk about their iman, their love, and the way they have done the khidmah to the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to the deen of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Once you look at their sacrifices and their commitment to that, you truly know that these are the stalwarts. We need to understand them, and by means of understanding their seerah, that will definitely increase our iman. Imam Malik would never ever narrate a word saying Qala Rasulullah sallallahu until he makes wudu, he puts on the best of the clothes, he puts on the perfume, and says why? Because you are talking about the ahsanul what? Insan, the best of the human being. So you need to be in the best of the situation. He will never state a hadith while standing. If a person will ask him, do you know about this hadith, and that person is standing, he said, either sit down or I will not answer it, because this is the qillat al-adab ma'a hadith al-Nabi. Malik bin Dinar says, one day, Imam Malik came and sat down in the masjid, starting, Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He started a long hadith, and then he started moving his leg. One little bit here and there. His face went black, pain, as if he is in so much pain. He continued the hadith until he finished it. Long hadith, long explanation. People asked him questions. At the end, when he got done, and he said, Sadaqan Nabiyul Kareem, he stood up. And I asked him, what happened to you? Your face was red, your face was... He said, when I sat down, a scorpion started biting me. But I have said, Qala Rasulullah sallam, and it was qillat al-adab to stand up and move, and so لَدَغَتْنِي عَقْرَبْ سِكْرَ الْعَشْرَةِ مَرَّةٍ. It bit me 16 times. But I did not move because it was not appropriate for me to say Qala Rasulullah sallam and run away or move. These are the type of people we are going to be talking about.